New York Knicks have been the laughingstock of the league for a very long time now. And honestly, besides that one good season they had with Carmelo Anthony, I can't remember the last time they were good because I wasn't even watching basketball then. And it's pretty pathetic they've been that bad for that long. And as bad as their franchise has been run, we see that no free agents, at least star free agents, want to come there because they just don't trust the franchise to put a good team around them, and it's just not a good culture to be in. On top of that, they've been blowing all their lottery picks as they pick people like Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, and they even picked Kristaps Porzingis, who they traded away for cookie crumbs. And after all these years of being bad, even as poorly run as they are, they've still managed to acquire a lot of young talent on the roster. And although it's not the next Luka or Trae Young, there are a lot of good pieces on this team that make me question, are they actually good this year? Yo, what's up guys? It's Dot Sports back here again today. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button. I post NBA content almost daily on this channel. We also have WWE videos, so if you're into either of those, then definitely check us out. Appreciate it a lot, but let's get into the video. Now, coming into the season, I didn't really expect much out of the Knicks, like I usually don't. I mean, from what I saw, they added Austin Rivers, Alec Burks, and drafted Obi Toppin. And, not terrible moves, but I was like, that's not going to change anything. But after seeing the preseason and seeing how some of their players look, I'm a little more impressed as Julius Randle has improved a lot. If you look just at his stats, he looks like the next Nikola Jokic. Now, he's definitely not Nikola Jokic, but he is doing a lot of similar stuff. So let's talk about that. So right now on the season, Julius Randle is averaging 22 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. Now, if you just saw the stats, you might guess that was actually Nikola Jokic. Not to mention, this guy's shooting 50% from the field and 40% from deep. Now, let's just go ahead and get this out. He's not going to continue shooting that good from deep, at least. I think he can be a decent shooter, and I would like to believe he can be that good of a shooter, but I just don't know if he can keep up that level of shooting from outside. I also saw against the Hawks the other day, where they won, that he hit a couple of step-back mid-rangers and a couple off-balance mid-rangers too. And I was really impressed. I was like, you used to not be able to shoot mid-rangers that good. If you were wide open, you would pop one. But I never saw him attempting step-backs and off-dribbles. So if he's that confident in his shot, he's at least got to have it improved a little bit, So I like that a lot. But his passing is the thing that I really like, man. 7.5 assists, that's a lot, man. I mean, this guy went from averaging 3 per game for his entire year to averaging 7.5. And you can kind of see why if you're watching the Knicks games. I mean, they're kind of running it through him. It's kind of his team at the moment. He can either be backing someone down the post and he'll pass out someone on the perimeter. He can either be at like the elbow, maybe thinking about backing down, maybe thinking about taking a face-up shot, and he passes out. He's passed out from the top of the key, kind of like how Jokic hold it at the top of the key and just wait for his teammates to run around and find an open guy, throw it at him. He's been doing all that, but I don't know if it's his most natural position to be a passer like that. Now, obviously, he has to get used to it, but he doesn't look that calm throwing a lot of passes. I mean, a lot of them, he'll already jump up and be in the air and throw it like 90 miles per hour, and you can tell it's just not that fluid of a pass, and it shows up in the stat sheets, man. He's averaging about 5 turnovers per game. So the turnovers are really a huge concern for me. But like I said, this is a new role for him, new system. It's going to take him some time to get used to. If he can bring those turnovers down to 3 per game and still average 7 assists, I really like it a lot. Now, in terms of his defense, he's never been the best defensive player. He can hold his man all right just because of his body size and width, but that's not going to be his bread and butter right there. But I have really liked what I saw from Julius Randle so far. Now, Julius Randle's fun and all, and he's been a surprise, but the people who really haven't impressed me have been Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett. Now, Immanuel Quickley, he's a rookie, and I didn't really know anything about him or who he was, but he's out there averaging 10 points per game on 50% shooting and 50% from deep. So he's definitely been a big positive for this group, and he's been closing out some games for them as well, so definitely a big plus for them. But the person I've liked a lot is RJ Barrett. Now, I know it's the second season, but last season, he had a pretty bad rookie year, not going to lie. And I just didn't pay too much attention to him. I don't really watch college ball, so I don't know much about him. But seeing him in the preseason, I can tell this guy is going to be a stud, man. I've already made a video about RJ Barrett. If you want to go check it out, it's titled The Knicks Savior or something like that. I might link in the video, maybe not. But this guy, he's only shooting 40% from the field and 23% from deep. So I know that seems terrible, but he has up this free throw percentage. Last year was 61%. He's shooting about 78% from the free throw line right now. And the past few games, he shot pretty decent from the field. So I'm hoping he can just bring all the percentages up. He's averaging about 18 points per game right now and getting about 4 assists and 8 rebounds. Just the way I see him play, I mean, he's a hyper athletic player. He has decent ball handling and he has decent shot creation skills. Now, he still needs to get his form down pat because he switches it up every now and then, but he's been a lot better at that this season. I just see a lot of raw potential in this guy, and I've said it before and I say it again. I think he has a lot of the skill set that James Harden had when he was his age, and I think he could be a similar player to James Harden. So, the Knicks definitely do not want to trade him. I don't want to see him traded at all. But RJ Barrett, I've liked what I saw from him so far this year. Now, we already know about Mitchell Robinson. He's a really good defender. His offensive progress has kind of stagnated this year. I'm not a huge fan of that. But he's still a big plus on the defensive end, and they definitely need that when looking at the rest of the roster. Now, I'll talk about Obi Toppin real quick. Like I said, I don't really watch college ball, so I don't know too much about these people. All I know is he's only played one game so far, and, he shot 25% with 9 points. I'm not going to judge it too quickly, but I have heard from Knicks fans that they don't like the offensive progress that he's made so far, but I'm not going to judge anybody too quickly. Now, they have some veterans on this team, like, who is Austin Rivers. They have Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton, some decent players. No one's going to take you anywhere, but it's good players to have just on the team for now. But the big difference maker, I think, has been Tom Thibodeau. Now, yes, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about this guy, and some people think he's not that good of a coach, some people think he is. He had the good time for the Bulls, but then he also overplayed his players. Then he went to the Timberwolves and didn't do that good. So, I think he's been a big positive for them because they've just had bad coach after bad coach after bad coach. And yes, he also was overplaying his players now. I mean, just look at the past Hawks game. He played RJ Barrett 43 minutes and Julius Randle 43 minutes. So his two best players, he's playing them a lot. But the good thing about him is he's not scared to not put his starters in the game. Like, he will do what he believes is best, not to pet players' egos and make them happy, man. Like, even though Mitchell Robinson and Elfrid Payton start, they hadn't finished the game against the Hawks. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was Emmanuel Quickley and Austin Rivers in the game instead of them. And they had Julius Randle running the center position, for a little small ball. And I think the last possession they brought Mitchell Robinson in to play defense. But besides that, for the last 3-4 minutes, they were playing that group of people along with the other 3 starters. And I think to be a good coach in the NBA, especially for young players, you've got to be willing and able to change things up and not do the same thing every time. If you're going to be predictable and just put in the same starting lineup every time, regardless how people are playing, and not really play your young guys that much because you want to give your minutes to veterans who feel like they deserve it. No, you're going to play your better player regardless if they're young players or veterans. And, just try to win a basketball game. And I think he's really trying to create that winning culture over in New York. And it's been a fun treat to watch this year because I haven't ever liked watching Knicks games. I liked it a little bit maybe in 2014, seeing Carmelo. That was kind of cool. But it's been fun this year, man. It's been real fun watching them. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't think Tom Thibodeau ever won an NBA championship with them. But I do like him in the moment and creating that winning culture, like I said, for them. Could be a great thing for him. Now, yes, New York has a lot of good stuff going for them, but can this good stuff going for them translate to actually being good this year? Or are they just going to fall off in a few weeks and everybody's going to forget about them? Well, I think they could be pretty decent this year, in the East at least. I mean, in terms of what the standings are looking like right now, they're the 5th seed. That won't keep up. I promise you, Knicks fans, that won't. But I think they could easily be better than Detroit. I think Detroit is easily the worst team in the league, at least in the West. I mean, East, my bad. Then the Toronto Raptors are actually looking really bad, y'all. I mean, I know they still have good players on the team, but you got to think about it. 2 years ago, they had Kawhi and Danny Green leave their championship team, and now they had Ibaka and Marc Gasol. I mean, you can be a team that's good at developing young players and good at replacing them and good coaching, but you can only lose so many players before it really starts to affect your team, and I think the Raptors are really being hit by that because they've lost a lot of their good veterans that helped them win that championship. If New York keeps this up, I mean, I could see them being better than the Charlotte Hornets. I could even see them being better than the Washington Wizards just based off of how bad they're coached. Now, I think the Wizards will be better than them, but I think it's a possibility. As in terms of the Bulls and the Cavs, the Bulls and Cavs have both looked terrible and amazing at different parts of the season so far. I don't know what to expect out of them. I mean, you could say the same for the Knicks. They've all had bad games and good games. But is there a world where I can see the Knicks being better than the Bulls and the Cavs this year? There is. I don't think they'd be better than the Bulls, but I think there's a chance they could finish over the Cavs. Alright, so all the teams I just mentioned, if they were to finish over all those teams, they would be the 9 seed. So maybe the Wizards do better than them. They're the 10 seed or whatever. But I'm just saying that they have a realistic possibility of being somewhere near that 10 or 11 seed, you know, like I said, maybe the Wizards do better than them, maybe the Hornets do better, maybe the Bulls do, but they could still be that 11-12 seed, maybe be a few games out and sneak in that play-in tournament. Who knows, man? But if you're a Knicks fan, I wouldn't even worry about it. Now, I know for you Knicks fans, you're tired of not making the playoffs. You're tired of getting top 10 picks. You just want to make the playoffs. You probably don't care. But I say just trust the process, man. It takes time to get a winning culture. It takes time to get a system down. It takes time just to be a good player after, coming into the league for those rookies. So if you have to get another top 10 pick, then fuck it. Do it, They could be amazing. Maybe not. But all I know is this is the best Knicks team I've seen in years, and y'all should definitely be excited. I wouldn't get your hopes up making the playoffs because it is a tough task, but I do think the Knicks will be a good, watchable team this year, and I'm going to be tuning into a lot of the games, not going to lie. Alright, well, hope y'all liked the video. I definitely had fun making it. I watched the Knicks highlights before I did this, and like I said, I just don't get tired of watching this team. I mean, RJ Barrett is the main thing for me. I feel like I believe in RJ Barrett more than really even most Knicks fans, but he just seems like he has so much potential to me. Like I said, y'all need to tell your GM, don't trade him, man. Don't trade him. Alright, man. Well, peace out till next time. If you want to see more basketball content, like I said, subscribe, or it's right down there, the red button. Okay, peace out.